What is up, guys? Rick Hackis here, back with another Mass Effect 3 in depth. Today we're going over the Infiltrator class, one of the most used and most important classes in the game. Do you think just because Call of Duty came out I would abandon you guys? No, Mass Effect 3 for life. Alright, so the very first guy you're going to start with is the Human Male Infiltrator. And the very first thing you should up is your Tactical Cloak. I'm not saying up the Tactical Cloak fully before you do other things, but bear with me. The Tactical Cloak is one of the most important skills practically in the game, and your very first choice is the most important one. It's going to either increase duration by 150% or damage by 40%. You should pick duration every single time except for one, and I will show that one exception at the end of the video. Not at the end, but later on. Then I would definitely increase recharge speed, because you should not be using really melee with the Infiltrator. It's a very fragile class and they do not have many health or shields, so you should really not be going up to guys and meleeing them. For this class, you're not going to be using a power, so definitely the sniper rifle damage by another extra 25% is important. After Tactical Cloak, the thing you definitely want to do is you want to ignore Cryoblast and do Sticky Grenade, but that should be last. Sticky Grenade should be upgraded very last after you've upgraded everything else. Now, Alliance Training is very important in this. You're going to upgrade everything towards guns, so anything that involves weapon damage or headshot damage you should upgrade, because again, you are not using any powers except for your grenades, and really they're not that important. You should really be using your sniper rifle more than your grenades. Your grenades are just kind of like a last ditch effort thing. Fitness, again, this is a very fragile class, so you should ignore melee, and if you think about it, if you put melee on, it would be even more fragile because you're taking away shields. Now, with your leftover points, do some sticky grenade stuff. I didn't have enough points to do it any more than this, but you can end up doing it fully if you're level 20. And sticky grenades, you should basically upgrade them so they can do damage to armor, so when you're being attacked by bosses, you can get rid of them. Now, for your sniper rifle, you could use actually a shotgun, but I would recommend using a sniper rifle. I would pick something like the Black Widow, but I have a lot of sniper rifles. Any sniper rifle is good, and they range from the very powerful, like the Black Widow, or the Javelin, or the Kershaw, to the rapid fire ones, so the Viper, or the Collector, or the Raptor. Now, each has its own merit. The ones that do massive damage, like this right here, this Black Widow, which you should upgrade pretty much all your snipers with. Firstly, you should have extended barrel. Always, more damage is always better. Your second one, a little bit of variation. I like to use with the Widow, I like to use extra thermal clips, but piercing mod is also a good choice. Now, with the rapid fire ones, some people view them as weak, but remember, you'll get more shots. Actually, I'll explain during the gameplay, so just ignore my thought for now. Your secondary, if you're going to use a secondary, should be something very light. I use the Eagle. You're going to be using something else, and I'll explain that in a bit. Now, your equipment for this, honestly, it doesn't really matter. Again, you're not using powers, so just ignore powers. I would use, like if I was upgrading for gold, I would use the adrenaline module so I can get to the objectives quicker, then go invisible, and then defuse them or do whatever. Also, for the gear, for the rounds, you want something. I like incendiary rounds because when I shoot a guy and when I'm reloading my sniper rifle, it'll do damage over time and often finish the remaining like 1 bar of health. Sniper rifle amp, obviously, and your gear bonus something towards sniper. Obviously, you can see I'm using the VI, vulnerability VI, so that increases headshot damage. But a sniper rifle amp or something like that would be just as good. Now, for what I'm going to be running this gameplay is, and for you guys, I'm going to be using the Mantis. Now, mine's 10, and I can't really revert it back to 1, so there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm going to be running it with extended barrel. More damage is always better, and piercing mod, because it comes with enough ammo, I think, that I would rather have that extra penetration and damage against armor. And for the next thing, I'm going to run a pistol, and it's going to be the very starting pistol, so the Predator. When I put the light pistol lightweight materials or whatever it is, the difference for this pistol is only 7%. It goes from 120 to 127. I don't think that's that big of a difference. I rather put the piercing mod on and get some extra damage against armor and extra piercing. I would not recommend putting a shotgun on because you do want to keep your power recharge speed pretty high because going invisible is very, very useful. How you want to play this class is as follows. You want to go invisible essentially for every shot. Notice that pretty much as I reload, is perfectly in tandem with when I want to go invisible. Every time, if you watch the bars, I basically shoot, go invisible, shoot, and then when I'm done reloading, when I'm just done reloading, if you notice the two semicircles are just connecting for the next time I can go invisible. This is very important, and notice that you will have a base 40% damage multiplier on your sniper rifle, plus you'll have the extra 25% if you've upgraded all the way. So that is 65% extra damage every time you go invisible, and that's a pretty big bonus. As you can see, one headshot to a Geth Prime. Now this is bronze, so I could get some easy gun gameplay, and now do not think that infiltrators are only used on bronze. I've used infiltrators personally all the way up to platinum, and they are actually probably one of the most used classes in gold. Maybe not necessarily platinum, but definitely gold, because of their ability to turn invisible and to do those objectives. Now, if you would have done the damage, so an extra 40%, so you would have got 80% base multiplier on your invisibility instead of doing duration, yes, you would be getting a lot more one-shot kills. But the thing is, 11 seconds duration is timed perfectly so you can do a lot of the objectives. In fact, if you go invisible just before you're doing an item, whatever it is, like disactivation, or like, you know, if there's 4 different places you have to go, and there's like a Reaper device, and you have to go deactivate them, 11 seconds is exactly how long it takes to go invisible, do the entire thing, and then come out of invisibility. So that is extremely important on the higher levels. You need someone to be able to go invisible so guys will ignore them, and then to be able to accomplish those objectives even easier. Now, gameplay wise, just a quick tip, always aim for the head. Always. This is rarely will you, unless you're using the Widow on bronze, rarely will you have opportunities that a body shot will give you an instant kill. Also, it's very important to note that aim for heads on bosses. It's recently been there was a recent update that put back, and now it was taken away, the headshot mechanic for bosses for a while, but there was a recent update that put it back at 40% for all bosses. So if you shoot any boss, Banshee, Geth Prime, Brute, any of those guys, in the head, you'll get a 40% damage boost, so always aim for the head. There's no secondary gameplay in these clips. Using my secondary I'm talking about, but I did whip it out in this gameplay for a little bit, and it's basically if you get overwhelmed or your sniper rifle is out of bullets. Pretty much though, use your sniper rifle. You can see me get some pretty gnarly quick scopes, hopefully. I think they're pretty gnarly. So again, use your sniper rifle as much as possible. This is the one exception to the rule I made about the duration. This is the Geth Infiltrator, and you instead want to go for damage for this, and you'll see very easily when I do the gameplay why. You want recharge, and the last one actually you can completely ignore. You're going to be using a shotgun, not a sniper rifle, and you're not going to be using any power, so it's completely useless. Hunter mode should be done all the way for accuracy, rate of fire, and then damage. And again, I can't really get too in-depth into this, but when you see the gameplay, it'll be very self-evident why. Now, and Hunter mode should pretty much be upgraded like above and beyond everything else. Networked AI, again, should be all towards guns and nothing towards powers. You're not going to be using any powers on this class, so don't worry about it. Advanced hardware, absolutely all the way towards shields. You're going to be using Hunter mode, which cuts your shields by half. And notice the Geth only has 350 health. That's nothing. So your shields are pretty much your only asset. And cutting those in half, you want them to be as powerful as possible before cutting them in half, so you can have some survivability. Your weapon layout, assault loadout would be good. Anything that increases damage with your shotgun. I just picked this because I have Berserker Package 4. I'm not going to be using melee. I don't melee once in the entire game or gameplay, but it's just has the most for my shotgun damage. Now you want to use the AT-12 Raider that you saw, or the Piranha. Those are the only two that I would say are acceptable for this class, and there's a very specific reason why. This is why. Both of those guns have a set pattern distribution. There's no random. And as you could see, the first time I shot was before Hunter Vision. I turned Hunter Vision on. You guys all saw that massive accuracy bonus. And the power is insane. Just watch this Atlas. One clip takes down the shields and a bit. In 2 clips, the thing is dead. Look at that. Dead. 2 clips, Atlas gone. Goodbye. And I've used this class all the way up to gold and actually platinum, and it is still pretty freaking devastating. Like, a clip will take down half a Banshee, or more than half of a Banshee's barriers or armor on platinum. And that's 100%. I've done it, so that's what I'm telling you guys. Now, the AT-12 Raider, or whatever that other shotgun is called, is essentially it's only a 2-shot magazine, and it's more challenging to use, but it does way more damage per shot than this gun. And the reason you want to use these two is because they have a set pattern to kind of like nerf them up. They don't have random pellet spread. As you saw, it was perfect circles, and this is to kind of nerf them. And so when you have an accuracy bonus, I think how the accuracy is calculated is either with radius or the radius, or the, I forget the other one, with the D. I can't even remember it, but it's increased in a way that the actual overall increase is way more than an accuracy bonus of 15%. It's way more. So you definitely want to give this class a try if you have the AT-12 Raider and the Geth Infiltrator and the Piranha, or any combination of therefore above. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a nice day.